All right, the next topic for tonight is going to be the rise of security robots. You guys remember Robbie? We had the robot Robbie that came on, and this is something they have here in Portland. It's, this big R2D2 looking thing, and it's an absolute joke. But there are some things that are coming down the pipe that are not a joke at all, and I want to share that with you. So we're going to bring in a video here. And I think that this is called a robot called Ascento, ASCENTO. This little thing looks really cute, but I want you guys to see what they've got going on with this. Check this out. This is the Ascento security guard robot. Very similar to Robbie, but a different construction. Check this out. So that is the Ascento robot. Now, guys, look, you see on that thing, one of the things it's doing, it's patrolling. It's, logging in the locations. It's able to, read the door readers, scan license plates, take all this information. And as you can see, they have, one person that's manning this thing on the other side. I'm assuming this thing can patrol for hours on end without needing to take breaks, without needing to go to the bathroom, without needing to call off. When I'm looking at something like this, I'm seeing the industry for unarmed security, which is basically the observe and report model, right? Making sure that doors are locked, making sure the parking lot is clear, checking to see if people are parked for too long. You can do that with the license plate reader. Being able to work in all types of weather. Guys, like, this is something that should worry you. We talk a lot about companies like Allied Universal, companies like Securitas, and how they are underbidding contracts, potentially violating antitrust, law in terms of, having a monopoly. But I think the thing that we should be mostly concerned about, if this is something that you're wanting to do as a career, is this type of technology. This type of technology is becoming more and more prevalent, more and more available. And that mundane, run-of-the-mill, just watch something, report something, these types of robots are going to slash the industry dramatically. Guys, there's over 30,000 security guards in Oregon alone. That's just in Oregon, okay? I would say the vast majority of that 30,000, it's unarmed security doing things like this, like patrol, documentation and reporting. So, this is something that's very frightening to me. Now, a bigger issue that goes a step beyond that is a company called Boston Dynamics. If you guys watch the show Black Mirror, Black Mirror had an episode. I never watched the episode, but in that episode, they have these robot dogs. Now, this is something that has been in development for years. I want to show you guys the video for the Boston Dynamics dog, and it's completely a step above what you guys just saw. And we'll talk about what I think their thought process is for the Boston Dynamics dog. Stand by.
Dog named Spot has been revealed by Boston Dynamics. The Google-owned robotics company released this YouTube video of Spot, a four-legged robot that can navigate rough terrain and office cubicles alike. The four-legged creation runs on an electric motor that powers a series of hydraulics. The motor is responsible for controlling the movement of a mechanical system. Spot can be seen walking indoors, walking through various outdoor terrains, climbing stairs and running. The video also shows Spot being kicked, a bit mean, but presumably to demonstrate its use of a sensor that helps.
Did you guys see that gyroscope when he kicks that robot? Hang on a second. Look at him try and kick this thing over.
Also shows Spot being kicked, a bit mean, but presumably to demonstrate its use of a sensor that helps it navigate and walk.
Why is that being done? So that it can't be tipped over. Guys, look, when I was working in the riots in 2020, you had, a host of lawsuits that came from that situation. Think of an area like Portland, think of an area like, California, Los Angeles, California, Minneapolis, Chicago, places where you have these large scale protests, right? What came from the large scale protests here in Portland were widespread lawsuits against the police department for police brutality, a lot of it for targeted enforcement, a lot of it for racial profiling. If they deploy 60, 70, 80 of these Boston Dynamic dogs, and they are able to deploy pepper spray, they're able to deploy Taser, they're able to gather information, like the ability for these robotic dogs to deal with things like crowd control, to deal with things like riots, like that's where I think that is going. And I think it's going to be something that is used, I don't want to say in a more nefarious way, but definitely in a more aggressive way than that Ascento thing beforehand. Guys, the video that I just showed you, everything that's going on with this Boston Dynamic dog, that video came out in 2013. That's the technology that they had developed for the Boston Dynamic robotic dog in 2013. That video that's an old video. Imagine what they're able to do now. Imagine the technology that they have in terms of not just the robotic dog, but any levels of security, any levels of law enforcement, in terms of AI or in terms of robotics. We are truly in a position right now where a lot of us, we're thinking that some of these changes, some of these issues, some of these things are going to be coming down the pipe. And it's like, yeah, we've got, 5-10 years before we see something where all unarmed security is removed. I don't think so. I was watching this video the other day. They had come out with this AI video creation. Okay. And I remember, early last year, they were talking about how it was going to be 3 to 4 years before the development of this technology truly, had eclipsed. And so in the video, it's a video of an AI generated Will Smith, and he's eating spaghetti, but it's all wonky. His face is moving weird, and it looks like something that a computer created. They came out last week with a video, and it's like, it looks like me talking to you. Like the technology that they were saying was going to be developed over the next 2 to 4 years, it took them 8 months. So I want you guys to be aware that changes in technology, the development of things like AI, of robotics, I want you guys to be watching that, because if you're not making moves to either A, advance in the career of security, or B, get into school and get yourself an education for a field that you can utilize moving forward. C, if you're not working towards law enforcement. D, maybe getting into the military. But I'm concerned that this is not an industry where at the lower level, there's going to be a lot of work for people. And that can be as soon as, like, I want to say 5 years, but I think it could be as soon as 2 to 3 years, guys. So, pay attention to that stuff. Don't take it lightly. It's not a joke. We got a lot of things that are going to be changing in the next couple of years,